Good morning, everyone. I'm Dale Dennis, and I am at the Yolo County Fairgrounds this morning to explore something going on with the American Radio Relay League's Field Day of 2025. This is an annual event that is held by amateur radio operators in various places throughout the country, and there are 3 club organizations that participate in the event here and set up on the Yolo County Fairgrounds. So they are up and running now and getting ready to see all the stuff that they're doing. Right now there's a group of gentlemen here in the center of the field next to an antenna mast that was raised earlier, and they are in the process of raising the some solar panels on that trailer that help to provide some power. One of the aspects of Field Day that is important to amateur radio operators is that they operate without any supplement from outside electricity. So they're getting everybody up and running here, and we're going to look around at what's going on here in just a couple of minutes. I'm out here on the field where they have this big antenna system set up, and then there are 3 stations, and I'm being joined here by Paul. Hello, Paul.
Oh, hey. How are you? I didn't know I was live here.
Yes, we are now live.
How fun.
Yes.
Having a nice hot day, little breeze, making it feel good.
Yep. So now, Paul, I know is in Newham.
Yes.
So when did you get your license?
December 2024.
Okay, yeah, so very recent. And but you're now extra class?
I'm a general.
Okay, you're general class. Okay.
Halfway through the amateur course. I got to get it done.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll do well. And you've got some family here in town. Maybe they'll tune in.
Yes, I have. We have 19 grandkids, all are local, and a couple of them are tuning in. So I'll make sure they get on it.
All right, very good. Well, I'll let you go about whatever you're doing here.
Safety zones.
Safety zones, yes. Important things, yes. Thanks. All right. So there's the antenna mast there, and then off to the left, and I think that we are framed in on it. There is a pop-up tent back there that has some people operating, trying to pick up some signals, and so we're gonna zoom in on them for a couple of minutes and then go over and see what they're doing. This is Daryl, who is at the radio here. You can hear him in the background a little bit as he's calling CQ Field Day, trying to contact other operators around the country who are also out in force, trying to contact us, and along with other people. So Daryl is going to be scanning through the frequency range of the band that he's on and seeing who he can contact. And then behind him is Louise. Louise is from Dixon. She's also an amateur operator. And then over here we have Peter and Brian. It's one of those things where the name just kind of leaves your head. And Robbie is over here. Are you guys involved in amateur radio?
We have licenses, yeah.
Okay. How long have you been licensed?
6 years?
Is that 6?
I think so, something
Some
like
amount of
that.
time.
Some amount of time. We don't do anything with it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Other than just have it for emergencies.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing to have it for too.
Yeah, that's the idea. So,
Okay.
so we're looking to learn more about the local community.
And do you guys live in Woodland here?
Davis.
Okay, you're in Davis. Okay. Well, that's okay too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, when I first got my license, I had only had it about a month when I was driving up to a young women's camp for our church, and the top tank of my radiator blew out.
Oh.
and I was on a stretch of Mormon Immigrant Trail that had no cell coverage. So I had to call on my radio, and fortunately I found somebody who could get a call through to my insurance company and get a tow truck out. So that was a good thing to have.
Yes, that's exactly the type of thing that we're looking for, emergency backup communication if other, more frequently used methods aren't available.
Well, we all hope that we don't have to use them, but it's good to know that they're there in case we do.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the perspective that I have. So.
Well, thank you for taking a second with me. Appreciate it.
Enjoy the day.
All right, you too.
Whiskey 6, Yankee Alpha Romeo.
Whiskey 6, Yankee Alpha Romeo.
A firm, Whiskey 6, Yankee Alpha Romeo, QSL.
Whiskey 6, Yankee Alpha Romeo.
A firm, Whiskey 6, Yankee Alpha Romeo, QSL.
5 Alpha 1.
I copy 5 Alpha 1. Please copy 3 Alpha Sierra Victor, 3 Alpha Sierra Victor, over.
So yeah, this is Bill Ragsdale. He's the president of the Berryessa Amateur Radio Club. What else are you involved in, Bill?
Oh my gosh. I am an authority on the computer language Forth. I've been programming with it for 35 years, but it's a language that is so quiet. There's only a few hundred people that use it, but I love it. And I'm an amateur magician, so once a month we get together with a magician's club and we do little card tricks. But ham radio is actually the most work.
Yeah. What other ham organizations are you affiliated with besides the Berryessa Club?
Well, locally we've got the benefit of having 3 different clubs. So there's ARRL, Amateur Radio Emergency Service, and it does primarily special events like bicycle races, horse endurance runs. And then Yolo Amateur Radio Society, and that one is more social and technical, meets once a month, and it's chat and learn.
Yeah. Okay. So, how would you describe the Berryessa Club as just kind of a?
Well, it has a long history. It started in 1975 by about 5 or 6 very technical radio amateurs, and they found available a county-maintained, what we call a vault, shelter up on Berryessa Peak. And so for the last, 40 years or so, a succession of people have managed that club. And so our current group is about 35 or 40, and each one pays $30 a month, and taken together that supports the cost of the repeater. And the repeater, of course, the function of it is that most of our little handheld radios can only go 5 miles or so. But with a repeater on a mountaintop, we can go 100 miles. So using our little handhelds, we can talk from Turlock on the south to above Chico on the north, and clear into the Sierras.
I thought it was $30 a year.
Oh, did I say?
You said a month.
I know it's wishful thinking. $30 a year. $30 a year.
Yeah, we want to be clear about that one.
We tried to raise it to 35, and they all screamed that they couldn't afford it, so it's 35. But one of the nice things is that on these special events, they will make a contribution toward operation of the repeater also. So there'll be a few $100s a year coming in from that. So it's totally self-supporting, all volunteer, uncommercial. With amateur radio, we can't sell services. It's all volunteer.
Well, and I was pointing out when we were over across the way, they were trying to get me to sit down and make some contacts, and I told them, well, I'm working, so I can't do that.
Oh, well, you can, amateur radio is prohibited from commercial activity, but you can be employed at the moment, but the messages on the air cannot affect your employer.
Right.
It's the message that counts.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, all right. So how many people we got here today, you think?
On the staff that's working is about 15 people, maybe 18, And currently visitors, there's about 7 or 8 visitors here. And through the course of the day, we expect probably 20, 30 visitors come in. We're at the fairgrounds and it's wide open. On the other hand, it's not too visible. In some years we've gone to a city park, and on that basis we get walk-ins. People just come by.
Well, how long are you going to be here today?
We're here until operating until 24 hours solid, from 11 a.m. Saturday till 11 a.m. Sunday. And we have about 4 people who are going to stay overnight. So we'll be on the radio just as we would in emergency service, 24/7, for a 24-hour period.
And so if anybody wants to come down, if they catch this either as we live stream it or they catch a replay, they can come down as long as it's still today or tomorrow morning.
Or Sunday until 11 o'clock, or Saturday to dark and even after dark. I had a great thought that just went away, whatever the thought was.
Well, I was just going to say today is June 28th, 2025. So if you're catching this and it's still today or tomorrow morning, the 29th, come on down if you're interested and check out things.
And come next year too. Put it on your calendar. It's the last full weekend in July, and it is a national event. So our station here is one of about 2,000 that are around the country. All operating, trying to talk to one another, and it's the one chance of the year that everybody goes into the field to practice their skills.
And it's June instead of July. You said July, right?
That's really good. No, that's good. I call that a mental typographical error. I knew exactly what I wanted to say, but I didn't. But that's good.
Yeah, if this wasn't live, we could edit it. I know that you've also been involved in the Boy Scouts, doing some stuff with amateur radio with Boy Scouts.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Boy Scout T-shirt this time because it's my nice radio T-shirt. For about 10 years, I was active in the Boy Scouts on the radio standpoint. I was active for 20 years in Scouts, and so I served twice on the National Jamboree staff, 2 times at Fort A.P. Hill. So in that case, there's about 70,000 Scouts get together for a 10-day special event. And radio amateurs play a key part in that. They have a radio station just as we do now, and the youth who are ham radio operators get to operate it. And in the evening, they have a social network that goes over one of the repeaters there. So all the hams across the camp, typically there's about 100, come in every evening and chat and socialize and where are you from and who's your unit, things like that. So, I was in scouting as long as my son was active, and then I stayed another 10 years past that, and then I felt it was time to retire. So I just wear the T-shirt.
Well, let's talk just a little bit about amateur radio. Can you just describe in a nutshell to everybody what amateur radio is and why we use it?
Well, it's a way that people can learn to utilize radio, and originally it was sort of technical, how to build equipment, how to operate, because back in the 1910s and 20s, there was very little commercial equipment. So in these days, people built their own equipment. Now today, it's strictly commercial equipment, but people use it as a social means where we have clubs, we get together. It's a nice hobby because you can go on the radio from your home, and with a reasonable amount of equipment and a little bit of luck, you can talk around the world. You can talk to like-minded amateurs. South America is easy, Russia is easy, Japan is pretty easy, Europe is a little harder. Antarctic, you get them occasionally. But there's a challenge also in seeing how far, how wide, and who you can talk to on the radio.
So can you explain the license levels that exist in amateur radio and what they're for?
Sure, there are 3 levels of license. The entry level is called novice. It used to be novice. That's another, it's technician. When I started, it was novice. But the technician starts out, no Morse code required, a simple multiple choice exam. And the license is renewable at no charge forever. If you want more radio privileges and usage, you go to general. It's again a 35-word item question, a little bit harder. And then finally, the extra class is a 50-question exam, and that's quite technical. So only about 5% of the amateurs go on to get the extra. The extra really doesn't provide you anything other than bragging rights. Well, but we all like the bragging rights. So around our club, there's a remarkable number of people who are extra class.
Yeah. Well, and I got mine strictly so that I could be a VE and grade exams.
Yeah. Well, the VE is a volunteer examiner, and that means if you are extra class, you can be one of the examiners, and you can do testing for all 3 classes. If you're a general, you can only test people for technician.
Yeah. Very cool. How can people find out about more about ham radio or about the club locally?
Well, there's 2 ways. The national way is ARRL.org. That's American Radio Relay League.org. ARRL.org. Very thorough, far-ranging, kind of everything website run by a national organization. Locally, our club, BARC Club, has its own website, and that is barkradio.org. So it's BARKRADIO.org. And on that, you'll find the announcements of all the local activities, club membership, history, photographs of our repeater up on the hill. So it's the most up-to-date for the Yolo County area, greater Sacramento area.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you taking some time.
Well, Dale, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Glad you were here. Glad you're participating here with video for all the local services here in Yolo County. So thank you, and great for the opportunity. And this will remind me to go take videos myself of our activity, because I always get done with this, and my wife says, "Where are your videos?" And I say, "I forgot." So thank you, Dale.
Well, thank you for joining us, and hope everybody learns a little bit about amateur radio today. Thanks.
Thank you.